What's up guys, Bonsai here from Chialovingbonsai, and today I'm going to guide you on how to play Xeniel and use him at his full potential. So I will go through these key points today: abilities, strengths, weaknesses, combos, what Xeniel can offer in a team composition, item builds, and also how to play Xeniel. So first off, we will start with his abilities. Xeniel's passive. Every third normal attack, Xeniel deals magic damage, scaling the max HP. Increase 1% for level 4, 7, 10 and 13. Xeniel's first ability. Xeniel forms an enveloping barrier that absorbs 400 damage, scaling the magic damage and also from his maximum HP. Xeniel can detonate this barrier after 2.5 seconds by pressing the ability button again, then dealing 400 damage, scaling with magic damage and also maximum health. This damage does to enemies nearby and reducing their movement speed for 1 second. If the barrier is destroyed by an enemy, then no damage nor movement impairing effects will be dealt. Second ability. Xeniel leaps towards the target area, dealing 280 magic damage to enemies in the area, while also stunning them for 1.25 seconds. And then Xeniel's ultimate ability. Xeniel selects an ally hero to bless with 40% damage reduction for 3 seconds as he soars into the air towards the ally hero's location at the time of casting. After 2.2 seconds, Xeniel crashes down in the target area, dealing 300 magic damage to nearby enemies. This scales also with magic damage, while also healing the ally hero for 15% of the maximum HP and increasing Xeniel's movement speed by 40% for 3 seconds. Now that we know what Xeniel can do, we can see that Xeniel is a tank that scales his damage mostly from health, which gives him great survivability and also damage. Xeniel also got a really strong shield that deals a lot of damage and also a dash ability with a stun that lasts 1.25 seconds, which is a long time. What makes Xeniel so strong is his ultimate ability, which is a much more improved Malok ultimate really. After level 4, your enemy team should not play aggressive, because your ultimate makes you come within 3 seconds and can make a 2 vs 2 to a 3 vs 2. Or a 1 vs 1 to a 2 vs 1. Also the damage reduction and healing is amazing. Worth to note, if your teammates use Endure, they won't be healed. And also if you play with a Xeniel, don't leave the circle unless you have to. It's a free heal and the damage you take is reduced by 40%. Xeniel is a very strong hero, and I honestly think this hero will change this patch a lot, and probably because of his potential, he will get banned a lot. But he also got some weaknesses. You can play him as a tank, but he works better as a secondary tank, because otherwise if you use his shield, the enemy will destroy it really fast and take away a lot of Xeniel's damage. Also, his abilities is on a high cooldown, which means you should be careful with his second ability when you engage, and also try to use the shield at the right time. Xeniel is a hero that have abilities that are easy to use. The key point is how you use them. It's a very easy combo. You want to use the first ability first, then the second ability, and then use the first ability again. Depending now on how much the damage the enemy does, the longer you have the shield. Remember, a huge amount of damage comes from Xeniel's shield, and you don't want it to break if you engage an enemy. You want the damage, you want the slow effect, and also absorb as much damage as possible. The ultimate ability takes some time to get used to, in my own opinion. I think they should not have made the screen swap plays, because you should have enough map awareness anyways, and also I don't see the point in teleporting to a dead teammate. But what makes a good Xeniel player different from an average player is when you use your ultimate correctly. Now we know how to play Xeniel, but when should you pick him? Xeniel is a very strong early game and can trade enemies early game, which makes him great as a support. Marksman doesn't have a lot of damage early game, so to have a support like Xeniel who can take care of the enemies alone is great. And also when in duo lane you can use your ultimate to help top lane, mid lane or even the jungler, and you won't leave the lane alone. so the enemies can't take the advantage of pushing your tower. I changed screen here so you can see my item build. I actually made 2 item builds for my own aggressive playstyle, which is the armor build that I prefer most. But if there is a lot of magic damage on the enemy team, I have the magic resist build as my secondary build. But I also made a third item build here. If you are a more passive player and want to run around the map and boost your team, you can then play with the third build. So my first build here, I start out with the Frost Cape. They give some decent stats, and they give the health and the armor, also some cooldown reduction. And the slow is very good. That's why I always start with this item. Got a pretty good build path as well. Afterwards I start with the Gilded Greaves. The passive it gives is really good, and movement speed you should always have it early on. It can actually save your life or help you get kills easier. Also I choose the magic defense one because I'm gonna build a lot of armor, but I know that the choice medallion here afterwards won't be enough magic resist, usually if they have a really strong mage. And I picked Medallion of Troy because that's the best magic defense item out there at the moment. It gives that shield a lot of magic defense, also some health, which gives him survivability and more damage, also some more cooldown speed. So that's why I picked those items. Then we have the Mail of Pain, which is a new item I found out to be pretty good actually. I think they boosted it pretty recently. It was useless earlier, but now it is pretty good. It gives 300 armor and a lot of health, which means damage and survivability. And also, if they have a lot of marksmen, they keep shooting at you, they will stop because they're gonna take damage just by attacking you. This is a great item. Also, I picked Shield of the Lost here, because it gives even more armor, a lot of health, and the passive which slows down the auto attack heroes. Because when you are a tank, your biggest weakness is actually mages and then the marksman, which just melt you. But now when I have Mail of Pain and the Shield of the Lost, I limit their power, can absorb more damage. And then as a last item, I don't play Ancestral Glory, I actually played Amulet of Longevity. And the reason for that is actually because of the passive. Not the healing passive, but the longevity passive. Which means I get 10% more maximum HP. And maximum HP means more damage and also harder to kill. I mean, you get 1700 maximum HP and then you get 10% extra. So that's my armored tank build basically, which I prefer to play most. I have had a lot of success actually playing this build. I'm going back here to the secondary, which I had more success with playing. I have a lot of success with just this build, because if you have like 5 magic resist items, they can't do damage. But I started out with the Frost Cape, really good early game item, and the team I was playing against most of the time have a damage dealer, at least in the bot lane, which I play a lot. And then I played the Gilded Greaves, magic defense, great passive, Troy Medallion, and same reason as I said earlier, really great magic defense item. We have the Gaia Standard, which actually also gives movement speed. Some magic defense, the passive heals you, the movement speed helps you roam around, and also to escape, which is great. I picked Mail of Pain here again, really solid item. And then Amulet for the same reason as before. You get a lot of HP, a lot of damage. Then the third build here, I call it Roam Support. This is a very passive one, you won't be really strong until you go back to the Shielded Lost here. Until then you'll be kinda weak. So I played the Gaia Standard here for survivability early game. And then the Hermes boots here, so that you actually can run around a lot. When you're fighting enemies then, you won't actually be able to move that fast, because you have these boots. But in the meantime, you use your ultimate to help your teammate. You can actually run back to your lane really fast, so that's great. Asterion Buckler gives health, which is great. Not best item, but the passive is really great. It improves your teammate's damage dealt by 5% and gives the damage reduction 10%. So I would guess like this ultimate would be 50% damage reduction when you use it, just because you have this item as well. Then we have the Crimson Banner. They actually nerfed it a lot. It gives some armor, a lot of health, and then the passive heals you every time you get an assist or a kill. And I guess this type of build, you want to defend your AD carry. So it makes great to have this item, because if your AD carry picks up a kill, you can heal up. This only works like once in a team fight, because usually everybody's dead within 10 seconds. Or a lot of them, and you won't really have use of it. Then I have the Shield of the Lost, because you really need the strength to survive when you are as a tank or a defender, and then Amulet of Longevity here as well. And that's it for the items then. And because you have been watching this far into the video, I will give you a small tip. I recommend playing Punish as your talent. Then you can actually farm the enemy jungle, and if you will get caught, you can use your ultimate ability to get away. Also, you can actually clean up your own jungle minions in case the jungler doesn't do his job correctly and clean the jungle himself. And also you get some free gold in that case, which is also great. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to make more hero guides here in the future. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one.
When I close my